We begin with breaking news at 6. Seguin police are investigating two shootings. The first one happening around 2:30 this afternoon in the 600 block of North Vaughan. Police say someone heard gunshots, called the police. When officers arrived, they found a man and a woman injured with gunshot wounds. Again, this is happening in Seguin. Both taken to a nearby hospital. Police have no suspects in custody at this time.
Now, the second one happened in the 1300 block of Mockingbird Lane about an hour after that first one that Steve just told you about. We're told that someone fired a gun inside a home. Luckily, no one was shot. Seguin police have not confirmed if those two shootings we're just telling you about are related.
Millions of unused medications tonight. Local doctors sounding the alarm on COVID treatments that are available right now.
The problem is they're just sitting on shelves, and doctors are worried that the people who need them most, like the immunocompromised or people at high risk for COVID, just aren't using them. Our Courtney Friedman tells us more about those medicines and also what doctors are saying.
December 2021 was a big month for the emergency approval of COVID-19 drugs deemed successful in trials. One of them is Evusheld, a mix of monoclonal antibodies used to prevent COVID-19.
We found it very useful for our immunocompromised patients. So people who had a kidney transplant or people who are on treatment for a rheumatologic disease that suppresses their immune system.
A New York Times article reported a majority of the stock is sitting unused in warehouses, pharmacies, and hospitals. But infectious disease specialist Dr. Barbara Taylor hasn't seen that as much within the UT Health San Antonio system.
For example, the Mays Cancer Center and our transplant groups have really been trying to reach out to people and get them Evusheld.
She says the challenge is making general doctors aware of it.
Primary care providers need to know and understand these medications, but it's so hard. You know, primary care providers are under lots of strain.
She and other specialists are making a conscious effort to spread the word, and not just about Evusheld. The other newer medication experts say is not being taken advantage of is Paxlovid for people who have mild or moderate COVID but worry it will become severe.
That could include older people. It could also include people with comorbidities.
Unlike remdesivir that's given through an IV, Paxlovid is a prescribed pill.
I think there are two challenges to Paxlovid. One is just people don't know that it's available.
Second, it's hard to know which pharmacies carry it.
The pharmacy that I use for my patients at University Health at Robert V. Greene has Paxlovid. And so I know that I can prescribe it.
She says the government has created a website for providers to find out which pharmacies have certain medications. She hopes more people will use it. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Tonight, a man is behind bars for allegedly shooting and killing his roommate over the weekend. The Kerr County Sheriff's Office arrested 52-year-old Brad Rick Way for the murder of 57-year-old Dennis Crawford Jr. Happened around noon yesterday in the 200 block of Beaver Road. The Sheriff's Office says the two men were arguing. Deputies did arrest Way at the scene, and now he's in the Kerr County Jail on a murder charge.
They allegedly dragged an ATM away. San Antonio police have a person of interest in custody in relation to that stolen ATM from a Northside bank. It happened around 3:45 this morning at a Chase Bank at the corner of Jones Maltzberger and Thousand Oaks. When officers arrived, they noticed the entire ATM had been taken away. Police were able to actually follow the drag marks on the ground. They found the ATM just down the street. The driver of the vehicle taken into custody. Police say they're still looking for several other suspects.
A woman is fighting for her life after this accident that you're about to see. It happened around 1:15 this morning on the access road of Highway 151 near Loop 410. San Antonio police say the woman was driving on Loop 410 when she lost control of her vehicle and then rolled over. And you noticed it a moment ago. Rescuers actually had to cut the roof of the car off in order to get that woman out. Now she's in University Hospital with possible life-threatening injuries.
Busy morning for firefighters. They also had to perform another vehicle rescue this morning. This crash happening around 1 a.m. on Southeast Military Drive near W.W. White Road. That's on the city's southeast side. Police say this driver and a passenger were traveling on Southeast Military when the driver lost control of the vehicle, causing that vehicle to roll several times. The driver was able to get out on his own. The passenger, though, did have to be rescued. Both were taken to BAMC. The cause of the crash is still under investigation.
If you could only see him trying to dance salsa or whatever
All right. I just wanted to see if I could make you laugh, and it worked.
And without fail, every time.
Yeah.
The countdown is on. We're now less than 1 hour away from the start of the Texas Cavaliers River Parade.
And man, do we have full coverage of this event. Lee Waldman has been speaking with people excited for tonight's parade, but let's go to the hosts of the parade while we can. Right here on KSAT 12 tonight, Myra Arthur and David Sears join us live from the Arneson River Theater. Guys.
Steve and Stephanie, we are literally on the river's edge right here. A couple more steps, we'll be in the river. We are at the foot of the Rosita Bridge. It's the beautiful Arneson River Theater, ready to host the 77th annual Texas Cavaliers River Parade. This place is going to be packed. You can already tell the atmosphere this year is a little different because we know it's going to be full of excitement this year, other than the last couple of years. Things are going to be a little bit different.
That's
Randy
right.
Rogers, we're very excited about. He is a country icon in the state of Texas, or in the country of Texas, as we like to say.
And you actually got to talk with him.
Sat down
He
with
went to David Sears' house to tell us all about being part of this parade, what it means to him. We're going to hear that performance from him. And you mentioned this being full of the fiesta spirit. It's a full fiesta this year. We
Yes,
can't
it
forget
is.
that. So we're starting to see the families come in here.
It's a full fiesta, as we like to say.
And he's trying to make this hair full of confetti, which I'm sure it will be by the end of the night. We got a barge passing by us here. The kids of Fiesta, the Fiesta children, they're going to be part of this parade. And you know, that is what this night is all about. The Texas Cavaliers do so much throughout the year to raise money, do charitable works for children's charities. This is a big part of the Party with a Purpose that is underway right now in our city.
Yeah, you're going to see the usual barges, the usual floats going by, but there's going to be a little different twist to them this year. They brought in a company to kind of spruce things up a little bit. So that's part of the reason why we're so excited, because the excitement is picked up. So if you are new to San Antonio and you've never watched this river parade, this is like no other parade you've ever seen in your entire life, in any city, anywhere you've ever been. You have not seen a parade like this, because this is the iconic Riverwalk, and this is the iconic Arneson River Theater.
And you know what? If you are a regular watcher of this event every single year, flip side of that coin, this is going to be different, because we've seen those floats. We've given you a little bit of a sneak preview of our the floats that have been all decked out in a different way this year. So check it out. All of our fun starts at 7 o'clock. We're going to show you every single float, all the performances, talk about all the good things happening in San Antonio for this Party with a Purpose. But go ahead. Go on now.
Viva Fiesta!
All right, our coverage doesn't end right here at the Arneson. We've got our Lee Waldman. She is out along the parade route. What's going on, Lee?
You look good.
Hey, how's it going? This parade is already drawing in a huge crowd today. People from out of town and people who call San Antonio home. Hundreds of chairs were set up along the river's edge today and in the Arneson River Theater. People walking along the Riverwalk talking about how they are excited for the return of the traditional parade after a COVID delay last year with limited capacity. We met a group of 8 women who are here all fiesta long. They're from the Northeast and they're excited to be part of the Party with a Purpose. They're also excited to see one of the most unique and most beautiful parades in the entire country.
That's the novelty, is the parade on the water. None of us have ever seen that. I've been to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. I've been to multiple parades, but nothing like this.
We visited the Alamo, and it's so cute seeing all the wands and the hats and the colors and decorations, and just really a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, we're seeing all the different walks of life down here. People dressed up, ready to go for this parade, which kicks off at 7 o'clock tonight. What makes this all better is the fact that all of the proceeds and donations that are gathered on this parade today are going to be donated to over 70 children's charities all year long. So it's not just a fun parade, it's one that helps so many people. So we're going to stay right here as more people are starting to fill up their seats along the river's edge, and we'll check back in with you all a little bit later. Reporting live, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Stephanie just said your earrings are everything.
Everything.
Lee, in case you wonder. By the way, this is a live look from Sky 12 over the river. There you see the barges lined up, getting ready for tonight's festivities, and of course, we're bringing it all to you right here on KSAT 12.
But now we want to go on over to our friend Adam Caskey, who's also in the same location by the river right now, by the Arneson River. theater, excuse me, to tell us more about what's going on. I see you're ready with all your sashes. Tell us what's going on.
And cascarones, of course. It's not Fiesta without the cascarones. And what we're watching closely for this evening, and I've been talking to a lot of the Texas Cavaliers who are a little worried about, rain and storm chances. They're like, gosh, it looks like the sky could open up at any moment. Well, we're going to take a look at radar coming up later. We do have some storms out in Mexico that have flared up, likely to cross the Rio Grande. In Valverde County area is what we're talking about more immediately. And then we'll talk about our storm chances for even around San Antonio for the rest of this evening, tonight, on into tomorrow. And then some big changes. Get ready. A cold front's going to pave the way for a unique Fiesta for later this week. It's going to be abnormal for Fiesta. Also, Oak is very high. We feel that in the air. I want to point out the aquifer. It's over 16 feet below average for this time of year. So we could use a little bit of rain. We'll go over some of those rain chances and what to expect in just a bit.
Adam, thank you. And now we have a quick programming note for our viewers because we're showing the River Parade, American Idol. Instead, it's going to air overnight tonight at 2 a.m. And The Good Doctor airs overnight Friday into Saturday at 2:03, starting at 2:03 in the morning. All right, now we want to take a live look outside right now to give you an idea of what the traffic is like. So this is I-37 there near Jones Avenue, where you can see it's flowing pretty smoothly, which is incredible because that's near the downtown area, and you figure a lot of people are going to be going down to the river for the parade, but that's probably going to change in a bit.
I'm guessing 281's getting crowded, though.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I'd guess 281 going into town's probably getting crowded as well. By the way, we are so looking forward to the parade tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Coming up, the city of San Antonio is starting Mental Health Week off by unveiling their own plan to prioritize resources in the city. The details on that plan coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Tonight on the Night Beat, you're going to meet a local pastor who's confronting his own grief amid a rash of shootings in San Antonio because in one of those shootings, his only son was killed.
But our goal today is to save a life. It couldn't be my son's, but it could be your son or your daughter's.
Tonight, the effort that's being made to prevent future tragedies. Also preparing for a potential influx at the border with the end of Title 42 next month. The U.S. Border Patrol is breaking down the steps that it's taking now to handle more immigrants. We'll have those stories and a lot more for you tonight on the Night Beat. So it's National Public Health Week, and the city of San Antonio is marking it by spreading the word about its 5-year plan for Metro Health.
Branded SA Forward, the plan revolves around expanding public health initiatives. Garrett Berger tells us what you can expect.
For 2 years, the city's conversations about public health have mostly revolved around one issue, the pandemic. But that does not mean other health issues plaguing the city went away, such as the high rate of diabetes in parts of San Antonio.
Whether you had an underlying condition, whether you suffer from domestic violence, all those things that made COVID worse for people, that's what we're addressing through this.
The SA Forward plan, which city staff and elected officials announced on the steps of City Hall, includes 6 priority areas like mental health, violence prevention, and access to care.
SA Forward is about ensuring that healthy people have an opportunity to thrive in a healthy community.
Goals include expanding the use of a mental health team as an alternative to 911, implementing a program to ID people with the highest risk of perpetrating or experiencing domestic violence, and expanding a program to provide healthy food at corner stores. All of it by the end of September 2026. The city's already taken some steps, like launching an online dashboard with health information about the community.
The interactive platform allows residents to stay informed about health and how the burden of disease affects their neighborhoods.
Growing programs will cost money, and the vast majority of Metro Health's budget already comes from outside grant dollars.
Part of the conversation the council had during last year's budget was making sure that we commit to enhancing that local funding part as we go forward.
We'll see if the city council continues on that path as they begin talking about the city budget at a goal-setting session next week. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
And from here, let's take a live look outside, give you another look at the River Parade that's going to start in, help me with my math here, 34 minutes?
Yeah, 44 minutes.
44 minutes.
By the way, look at, okay, so this is one of the new things they're doing way more production, I think, for this year's River Parade than before. You're looking down at the stage at the Arneson River Theater. They're actually trying out the smoke machines, something that we've seen in
dramatic
parades before. But yeah, it's never seen it before, really, for the River Parade. The Cavaliers putting that on tonight. And of course, you can watch it right here on KSAT in now 43 minutes.
Yes, almost. Yes, he's making fun of me. All right, now we're going to send things on over to our friend Adam Caskey.
I just want to know, did they let you work the smoke machine, Adam? That's what I want to know.
You'd love that.
Yes, it's awesome. They're testing everything out, and they have extra confetti cannons set up this year as well. I was talking to some of the pyrotechnic folks who are in the Cavaliers, figuring out where to put them and when to, going over when they're going to launch them off. And the wind is actually perfect for it. That should flutter down just nicely, not get swept away really quickly. I'm kind of a connoisseur of the confetti, so that's what I look for when it comes to that. I do want to point out, I just got my medal in today. Remember, it was on a shipping delay with all the supply chain issues, and it's a little Caskey bobblehead holding thermometers. That's what it is this year. So, this Wednesday, starting at 4 p.m., you can get in line, Las Palapas on Southeast Military Drive. I'll be live there for 5 and 6, the usual giveaway, but hundreds more than usual. All right, we'll get into the more specifics tomorrow, but let's chat weather. Earlier this morning, 66 degrees, then we made it up to 83 for the high temperature. Of note, that morning low, 66, indicative of the humidity that's back in the air. When those dew points are up, your mornings are warmer. So that's why we were in the mid 60s. And look at the record high, 93. So record territory this time of year is typically low 90s. Well, get ready. I think we're going to be there tomorrow. Now, let's talk about this evening, though. We have some storms flaring up in Mexico, just west of Del Rio, west of Quemado Eagle Pass. Only about a 20% chance of them actually making it here to San Antonio during the parade this evening, and even for festivities afterwards. Let's get into the full screen details of it, okay? So we think odds heavily favor us being in the clear for the parade tonight. But that doesn't mean we're going to completely miss out on the potential for rain. So let's get into it. There's a look at the current satellite and radar, and you see those storms flaring up just west of the Rio Grande. They're headed toward Del Rio. Another one, the southern one, is headed toward about Quemado Eagle Pass area. And they'll continue to push eastward, but all indications is that they'll weaken as they do so, at least before they would make it to San Antonio. Big picture, severe thunderstorm watch up in North Texas. Already some activity there that they've been seeing severe weather for, or producing severe weather, I should say. You look at our futurecast here, and it flares up more storms in and around Del Rio, Lakeview, Val Verde County, Brackettville area, and down toward Eagle Pass. That's the zone where we have the highest odds of seeing some severe weather develop in the coming hours. So even during the River Parade, it should be closer to the Rio Grande opposed to the River Walk downtown. But here in San Antonio, we get in on the opportunity of a splash of rain in the pre-dawn hours tomorrow. I mean, we're talking about 4, 5, 6 a.m., we could have our own showers move through, an off chance of them being severe. But I think the severe threat is mainly west of 281 and closer to the Rio Grande this evening and early tonight. So just 20% chance around town tonight and through the evening hours. Dry and sunny tomorrow, a dry west wind. That's going to warm us up. Sure will be 67 in the morning, with a few lingering sprinkles around showers around sunrise, but then sunny most of the day, 94 degrees. That would be a record for the day. West winds up to about 20 miles per hour. We're talking 96 Poteet, 95 Floresville, 95 Port SA, Uvalde, Sabinal, Hondo, 97 with the dew point really falling off. So dew points are going to be way down, especially on Wednesday and Thursday. We're talking desert, dry air at that point. Yes, a fiesta week with a lack of humidity. Today's the only muggy day of this week, but that then of course introduces the high fire danger, particularly on Wednesday. Dry air along with the gusty winds. But look at that, high temperatures near 80. I mean, we're talking Niosa weather with afternoon highs near 80, evening temperatures dropping down into the 60s for Niosa this week, and morning temperatures down in the 40s. Battle of Flowers parade on Friday. We still think it's going to be low to mid 40s right before the parade starts. Mind-blowing that we could actually have a bit of a chill in the air for the Battle of Flowers parade. Now, it's earlier than usual, but still only near 80 degrees by Friday afternoon. So good weather for Fiesta the rest of this week. Our only shot of much needed rain pre-dawn hours is what it's looking like around San Antonio early tomorrow morning.
I'm just glad they have you down there to help with the confetti, Adam.
Yeah, otherwise, what would they do?
Like you said, he is a confetti connoisseur.
This is
That's
true.
for sure. All right, I own one Spurs jersey.
Yeah, what's that?
It's Manu Ginobili.
It sure is. And remember what his jersey number was originally. They had to change it the last second because of who used to wear it. When we come back, as part of his Hall of Fame induction, upcoming induction, Manu shares that memory and much more with us. And plus, the Visions arrive at the Wolf. 2 new improvements coming up. San Antonio Spurs are in Denver as we speak to start their final 4 games of the regular season here, with including stops in Minnesota, Dallas, along with their final home game on Saturday night against Golden State Warriors, especially when you consider the Spurs are fighting to secure at least the very least the 10th and final play-in position, with a chance to possibly move up to number 9. As following losses by both the Pelicans and the Lakers on Sunday, putting the Spurs magic number 2, any combination of Spurs wins or losses guarantees the Spurs at the very least the 10th and final play-in position against the Lakers. That's after the Spurs beat the Blazers in back-to-back home games spread out over the last 3 days, including last night's 113-92 victory. The Spurs had a rough first half, outscored 33-22 in the second quarter. Were down 56-48 at the half, but rebounded the second half, led by Keldon Johnson's game by 28 points, included his 6 three-pointers, but playing without both DeJounte Murray and Jakob Poeltl, the silver and black, got a lot of help from Keita Bates-Diop, who had 12 points off the bench on 6 of 8 shooting.
Being the team 4 times is just tough. No matter who's out there, being the team 4 times is tough. He obviously he's got into us at halftime. We stayed focused. We stayed to our principles, and eventually came out with the win.
Thank goodness. All right, next up, Denver in Denver tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Manu Ginobili is headed to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. That announcement made in New Orleans on Saturday at the Final Four. Immediately afterwards, Manu held a press conference here in San Antonio at the AT&T Center to thank the Spurs fans for their support, as well as many other subjects that came up for the 4-time NBA champion, Olympic gold medalist, as a first-ballot inductee. One of which would Manu actually remember about his first day ever in San Antonio.
I came to sign the contract first. I think it was early July. And I did a press conference with a number that I never wore. So that kind of sticks out. I remember having the picture with a number that then I couldn't wear. It was a jersey on its way to be retired. So I chose number 6. They told me, yeah. And we did the press conference, and then all of a sudden they said, oh, no, we can't do that. So, but I was very impressed with the river walk, the city, the hotel. I tried to go for a walk, and I immediately went back up under the AC because it was like 125 that day. So I was sweating. So those were my first impressions of the city.
All right, turns out, as you heard, the original number belonged to Avery Johnson, now hangs in the rafters of the AT&T Center. NCAA Tournament Championship game is tonight. Matchup between number 8 seed North Carolina against number 1 Kansas. The start of the Texas League baseball season is this week, and the Missions arrive today in San Antonio. The AA ball club of the San Diego Padres will start the season on the road this Friday in Corpus, and the Missions home opener is April the 12th against Frisco. When fans arrive, they'll notice some new features like new padding on the walls, a cantina on the first base side of the stadium, and a brand new all-video scoreboard.
I think it just helps. This is the 29th year that we've been in Nelson Wolff Stadium, so you always want to see new things taking place and new things to try to keep it fresh and new additions like the LED screen and new scoreboard, putting a cantina down the first base line. Those are things that I think fans will notice, and again, it's all about the experience.
You can read more about the Missions on the instant replay page at KSAT.com. Media Day is this coming Wednesday. Everybody's in town, ready for baseball to be back, having fun in the sun. Looking forward to it.
Play ball.
You got it.
Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. A former police officer began his trial for taking part in last year's riots at the U.S. Capitol.
The former officer, the third among hundreds of people charged for the attack. McKinley Struther has the latest from D.C.
The court sits in recess tonight. So far, they've been able to qualify 28 potential jurors. The judge wants to add 5 to 7 more into that mix before the final jury is put in place. Potential jurors were interviewed one by one about their knowledge of and exposure to the January 6th riots. They were also asked about their views on law enforcement, since Thomas Robertson is a former police officer. They were asked, each one of them, by the judge, if they can be fair to Mr. Robertson, because again, he's only on trial for what he may or may not have done on the day of January 6, 2021. He's certainly not on trial for the actions of anyone else on that day. Investigators say Robertson traveled from Southwest Virginia here to our nation's capital on the day Congress was to certify the 2020 election results. He took a picture, a selfie, this selfie, inside the U.S. Capitol during the riots, and later bragged about his involvement on social media. This is all according to court documents. The other man pictured in that selfie is a former Rocky Mount police officer who entered a plea agreement earlier this year and will likely testify during this trial this week. The court proceedings are scheduled to continue tomorrow morning at 9. In our nation's capital, I'm McKinley Struther for KSAT 12 News.
3 states now suing the Biden administration. Missouri, Arizona, and Louisiana taking legal action against the end of public health policy Title 42. That policy essentially allows border officials to turn away migrants because of the COVID pandemic. It's set to end next month. The announcement from the Missouri Attorney General says revoking Title 42 will create an unprecedented surge at the southern border, and it will overwhelm law enforcement agencies, end quote. Meanwhile, immigrant rights advocates praising the report, and that Title 42 will come to an end.
Today is the 54th anniversary of the assassination of civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The site of the shooting, the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, is now home to the National Civil Rights Museum. Fewer civil rights advocates who worked with King actually remain to tell the story. Now, of King's entourage the day he died, only the Reverend Jesse Jackson and former UN Ambassador Andrew Young remain. King's legacy lives on in continued efforts and legislation to end racism and other forms of discrimination.
And now the latest of the confirmation of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. The Senate Judiciary Committee set to vote on sending her nomination to the full Senate.
Yeah, the major question is how many Republicans will actually support her. ABC's Alex Prochet has the latest now from Washington.
Today, ahead of a confirmation vote, a fierce debate within the Senate Judiciary Committee over Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Judge Jackson may be a fine woman, but she has built her career as a far-left activist.
Judge Jackson is not far from the mainstream.
Based on her policy and her philosophy. And I think on these core issues, she is just dead wrong. How qualified do you have to be, double Harvard? How qualified do you have to be clerking at all levels of the federal judiciary? How qualified do you have to be 3 times confirmed by the Senate in a bipartisan manner?
The White House confident about their nominee.
What I know is she will get enough votes to get confirmed.
Bottom line, Democrats have the votes in the full Senate to confirm Judge Jackson without Republican support. And right now, her confirmation would be bipartisan. Republican Senator Susan Collins has said that she would vote along with Democrats to confirm. But before that can happen, Judge Jackson must first get past a vote in the Senate Judiciary Committee. Today, a key moment there with Republican Senator Chuck Grassley.
Having carefully studied her record, unfortunately, I think she and I have fundamental different views on the role of judges and the role that they should play in our system of government. Because of those disagreements, I can't support her nomination.
Grassley's decision means we can expect an evenly split vote in the committee, at which point Majority Leader Chuck Schumer would step in and bring the vote straight to the full Senate. But this afternoon, a delay.
We have a problem.
Democrat Judiciary Committee member Senator Alex Padilla delayed on a flight from LAX due to a passenger medical emergency. Democrats, depending on his vote, opting to recess. The committee could push this vote to tomorrow. Alex Prochet, ABC News, Washington.
If you drive a Chevy Equinox or GMC Terrain, listen up. They're part of a big recall because of issues with the windshield wipers. It's the 2014 to 2015 models we're talking about. There are more than 680,000 of them out there. Apparently, the wipers' ball joints have been wearing away so they can fall off. It's a voluntary recall. Your dealer will fix it for free. Still ahead, we're going to get one last look at the Texas Cavaliers River Parade before it officially starts. We're live from the Riverwalk. Coming up after the break. Crowd's already there.
All right, you know what that music means. Come on. Final preps now for the 2022 Texas Cavaliers River Parade, and now we are ready to see the first few floats. We're about to make their way down the river. Chairs are set up along the river's edge. People are super excited.
Yeah, we hope. That's where our Lee Waldman is. Lee, can you feel the anticipation building out there?
Oh, you really can. People are starting to slowly make their way to their seats out here right along the river's edge, and you can feel that anticipation building. I'm going to go ahead and show you just across the street there. People set up with their fun flower crowns. I had to go get one myself. Ready for those floats to start coming down. All along the river, there are scannable QR codes. So if you put off buying your ticket, you've still got some time. We've seen hundreds of chairs set up for tonight's guests to sit down. It's great to see this traditional parade back after it was delayed until June last year. And the whole thing was scaled back because of COVID. Not only is it great to have this parade back, it's great to see the turnout because all of the proceeds and donations will benefit over 70 children's charities. It really is partying with a purpose down here on the Riverwalk. Also, 1,200 servicemen and women, 1,200 first responders, and 800 children were invited to participate and see this parade tonight, all for free. It doesn't get much better than that. Viva Fiesta! You heard it. We're excited. We're ready to go. All these parades. People are excited. The floats to start coming down. We've seen some ducks floating down. They're excited too. I can't tell you just the anticipation tonight. We're ready for it. It's going to be my first one. It's going to be the best one. I'm excited to see all of it. And we're going to show you all of the highlights tonight on the night beat too. So we're going to send things back to you all. We're ready. The parade floats are going to start coming down soon.
All right, Lee.
The ducks are excited.
Lee, did you hear what Stephanie has said? Well, I think she went away, but I was going to say, I want to make sure she heard your compliments about her
the earrings.
And then she upped it with the flower crown.
I love it. I love it. And I just love all the color. Now, you don't really see a lot of color right here, although it is 81 degrees right now. But we do want to send things back on over to our friend Adam Caskey, who is live along the river right there to tell us what's on tap for today.
Well, we have some storms already along the Rio Grande, but locally we are looking good. We do think, and we are pretty confident, we'll get in this parade without a hitch. Some breaks in the clouds, but that's about it. Actually, the cloud cover helped us out today by limiting the destabilization of our atmosphere. You know, it takes that sun's heat to really warm us up and help destabilize us. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into it. We'll get into the full forecast, where the storms are now, where they're going to be later tonight, and a cold front that sets the stage for unique fiesta weather later this week. We'll see you in a bit.
In the buzz tonight, a big winner at the Grammys had a big uh-oh as photographers snapped away taking photos of singer Olivia Rodrigo. She dropped one of her 3 Grammy Awards. You can actually hear the collective shock from onlookers. One of the 19-year-old singer's trophies broke apart.
Okay, but luckily an assistant, of course, they really work all the magic. This person put it back together. If you're wondering, Rodrigo won Best New Artist, Best Pop Solo Performance, and Best Pop Vocal Album. And by the way, something similar happened to Taylor Swift back in 2010. She also dropped one of her awards backstage. I mean, it's a lot, and they're pretty heavy, so I hear. So this is not something that you see every day. You know what you see right there? Yeah, it's a baby seal in the middle of a roadway. Happened yesterday in Southampton, New York, which is in Long Island. Some people called police after they saw the seal wandering through a parking lot, and then it made its way near a hotel before someone rescued it from a traffic circle.
I'm just glad someone rescued it. The New York Marine Resource Center had a team come retrieve the baby seal. It was brought to a rehab center. The program director of the center says seal season is approaching. He says harbor seals usually rest on rocks and beaches, and something like this, very uncommon. All right, let's head back to the river.
Let's get excited. Send things on over to our friend Adam Caskey.
Yes! We are live here at the Arneson River Theater, the home of the Texas Cavaliers River Parade every year. And this year is going to be very different, just in the sense that we've got different decor, big statues, and even different floats. So if you've watched years past, don't expect the same this go around. I know the Cavaliers are working with one of the designers of Mardi Gras floats, who worked on a bunch of their floats and some of the new decor and decorations up on stage, along with MCs, big screen, more technology involved. It's a different setup down here, and honestly, it's already creating a different vibe. So, let's talk forecast. First of all, temperatures outside right now, International Airport, 82 degrees. That should be pretty close to what it is along the Riverwalk right now. We're 84 as you get into about Castroville, Hondo area, 78 Kerrville and Comfort. This evening, near 80 degrees. As we get to 7, 8 o'clock, we dip down into the upper 70s. And during the parade here, we should just be falling from about 80 degrees down into the mid 70s. And yes, we notice the humidity, but we've had the natural shade of the clouds, and it's been very pleasant out here, all things considered, especially when you compare it to the last time we were here in June. Notice those storm chances, only 20% for us here in San Antonio. Higher rain chances out west. Take a look at our radar. We're going to take this full screen. You can get a look at the storms that have already developed crossing the Rio Grande right now. Those storms are moving toward Del Rio area, and even, we're talking basically Valverde County, Maverick County, Kinney County, and there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Valverde County just outside of Del Rio, but does include all of Lake Amistad there. That could have $half size hail and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. That's the only area where we have storms right now. Take a look at the big picture. That activity developing in Mexico, storms likely far west of San Antonio this evening. Part of the big picture is big low pressure system, dry line, and even some frontal boundaries headed our way. Here's our future cast. Storms mainly confined closer to the Rio Grande and communities right along the river and within about 50 miles of the river, give or take a bit. That's through this evening and sunset. And then the activity is likely to develop and actually make it a little farther east and possibly even clip us here in San Antonio just at the right time. Early morning tomorrow before the sun rises. We're talking 4, 5, 6 a.m. We could have some quick showers and thunderstorms moving through. Off chance they'd be severe, probably non-severe. All right, temperatures tomorrow morning, 60s, because we'll still have some humidity in the air then, so mid-60s for most of us. By the afternoon, a dry westerly wind, full sun, mid-90s, yes, low to mid-90s. We're talking 92 Helotes, 95 Floresville, 94 in Converse. Record-breaking territory for highs tomorrow. Dew points fall off, especially Wednesday and Thursday. You won't really notice the humidity tomorrow, but very dry air Wednesday and Thursday. High fire danger, especially because, as our 7-day shows, we will have high winds, especially on Wednesday. But look at those temperatures. After tomorrow, our highs the rest of the week are right near 80 degrees, with morning temperatures dipping down into the 40s. Even for Battle of Flowers, sunrise Friday morning will be in the low to mid 40s. Come parade time, a little bit warmer, closer to 50 degrees, but sunny, beautiful weather and agreeable for fiesta events the rest of this week. Nyosa kicks off, of course, tomorrow, and Nyosa weather is going to be ideal. Oh, that's all. I love it down here. Nyosa weather is going to be great. 70s and 60s next several evenings, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I know none of you really want to see this, but we're doing it.
Now he's dancing. Okay. All right.
We're having fun, baby.
Time to get out of that live shot.
Now, in case you missed it, it's coming up next.
It's Monday, April 4th.
What appears a group of thieves didn't quite think things through when it came to stealing an ATM.
San Antonio police found out about it in a call shortly before 4 a.m. They found practically all the evidence they needed. Less than a quarter mile away, officers found a pickup with a heavy chain still attached. And on the end of that, they found their pot of gold. Or really, the money machine. Police believe the thieves were driving down the street, pulling the machine behind them, but they say the crooks never opened it. At some point, they took off in a different vehicle. With help from witnesses, officers tracked it down and took the driver in as a person of interest in this case.
We are learning about the passing of the managing editor of the San Antonio Observer newspaper, Doug Heath. According to family, he passed away last Wednesday. He was 64. A first viewing is scheduled for this Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Calvary Baptist Church. For more information, head to KSAT.com.
Just one day after the shooting that killed 6 and injured a dozen others in downtown Sacramento, police are announcing there's been an arrest of one suspect believed to be involved. The barrage of gunshots going off on Sunday. It happened in a crowd of people near a popular nightlife area. According to police, more than 100 shell casings were found at the scene, leading them to believe there were multiple shooters. In just 30 days, more than 8,000 potholes could be repaired throughout the city. At least that's the goal for this year's Pothole Blitz. This is the 6th year for the event. It's put on by the Public Works Department, which arranged for 16 pothole patrol crews to work extended hours doing this, repairing those potholes.
We've been talking about the River Parade, and here it is.
It's here. It's coming up next. We'll see how the night beat it.
The Texas Cavaliers River Parade is powered on KSAT 12 by Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 77th annual Texas Cavaliers River Parade here at the beautiful Arneson River Theater along San Antonio's one and only River Walk. And with that, we're off with a bang. I'm Myra Arthur, joined by...
That's what you call explosion of fiesta. David Sears. And we got a party planned for you tonight. We've got toys, we've got fun, we've got parties, we got glow-in-the-dark sticks, we've got glow-in-the-dark rings, we've got medals, we've got fiesta cascarones. You can't have a party without some cascarones. What a great night we have planned for you. The Texas Cavaliers River Parade. The theme is Texas al fresco. That means the floats tonight are going to be representing some of the beauty of the state of Texas. We're talking the hill country, Big Bend, we're talking the valley, we're talking out east with the beautiful pine trees. It is going to be an absolute incredible night, and these floats are going to be special tonight because they're 3D floats.
Yeah, this is something different that we have not seen in river parades past. You want to talk about a good night to be al fresco, to be out here enjoying the open air. Our Adam Caskey is out among the crowd. It's a beautiful evening weather-wise, and it just feels fantastic to be here with each other. Hey, Adam.
Those pyrotechnics, they made everybody jump around here. Woo, and it got everybody's attention for the annual Texas Cavaliers River Parade to commence. Very different this year. We've got MCs up on stage. You may not recognize their faces, but you will recognize their voices from the rodeo. That's why you'll recognize the voice. Why are they so familiar, those MCs? And just different decor, different designs this year. And even I've been noticing a lot of face paint on all the kids. They've been coming in decked out. Look at this. We got some lions, got dolphins over there. Looking good, looking good. And everybody's just getting ready, still getting to their seats, having a good time. I love the colors here tonight. The colors are right on cue. I love it. All right, back to y'all upstairs.
You know, Adam's right. I feel like I'm about ready to watch the bull shoot open, with these guys.
And there may be a bull on a barge or two. You never know. Yeah, that is Randy Corley. And if you recognize that name, he is the son-in-law of Hadley Barrett, who's the longtime announcer of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. And also Wayne Brooks is on the stage entertaining the crowd here in the Arneson River Theater while we entertain you at home. And speaking of entertainment, the Grand Marshal of this year's parade,
Randy Rogers, a name in Texas country, and we're going to hear from him. We have an actual performance from our Grand Marshal tonight, and you got to speak with him about what this means to him.
An exclusive one-on-one sit-down interview in the beautiful hill country of Texas with one of the greats of country music here in the state, Randy Rogers.
We're going to start from the very beginning. When you got the phone call telling you that they would like for you to be the Grand Marshal of the Texas Cavaliers River Parade, what was your immediate reaction?
Well, I was shocked, obviously, stunned, humbled. Lots of things running through my mind, like do I get to bring my family on the float? Is David Robinson or Tim Duncan going to be there? I don't know. There's lots of things going on. So just happy to be here, happy to be a part of it, happy to help raise money, and obviously be a part of the community.
Is that one of the reasons why you're so excited about doing it, is because of what they do for the community? Because you have your own foundation and you've been doing a lot for the community as well, so it kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously helping people when you're the lead singer of a band is equal to helping somebody if you're not the lead singer of a band. But I'm presented with opportunities because people reach out to our band because of songs and because of music, and music touches people in many different ways. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to try something new. Girl, I really don't care.
Talk a little bit about how this all got started. You were very, very young when you were introduced to music, weren't you?
I was. My dad was a Baptist preacher, so I was on stage at church starting about 8 years old every Sunday. And then I was playing piano in church pretty much every weekend through high school. I started playing guitar when I was about 13. I got to college in 1996. It kind of dates me a little bit, but Southwest Texas State, San Marcos, Texas. Graduated there in 01. And about that time, I had found Cheatham Street Warehouse, and George Strait had started there, so I wanted to play there. I went to open mic night.
What's it like to not only, play for George Strait, know George Strait, but own the place where George Strait actually got started?
Yeah, so a few years back, Kent Finley passed away, the owner of Cheatham Street Warehouse. It came to a situation where Cheatham Street needed new owners, and I was fortunate enough to be in that position with my family to do that, and we've operated it since 2017. Live music 4 to 5 nights a week. Kent Finley's Songwriter Circle on Wednesday. Open mic, which is where I started. We still have every Wednesday. You can go down there, and if you wrote a song, you can sign up on the sheet and get up and do your song. So.
Hellbent, your latest?
Hellbent, latest. I put out a record, Hold My Beer and Watch This, Volume 2, with my friend Wade Bowen, which technically would be the last record that I put out. We're in the studio right now, making another record with Radney Foster, who's from Del Rio, Texas, and one of my mentors. I kind of model the way that I teach the young kids about the way that he taught me. One of my favorite things to do is play these small town get-togethers and festivals, and see the people and the flair, the culture, the food, the music. It's a great job.
There's going to be several 100,000 people lined in the Riverwalk watching you float by.
I've been nervous before. I have to be honest. I'm a little bit nervous about my wave. I don't know what my wave should look like. What do you think? You have any tips?
Those two are good.
Yeah?
Yeah, because there'll be a lot of people screaming your name.
I just need a Go Spurs Go t-shirt, maybe.
We can probably figure that out. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Well done. Well done.
Love your place here. It's beautiful.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming by, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the barge, waving.
Right on. My best wave.
I love it. He's going to get a lot of opportunities to perfect that tonight.
How cool is it for Randy Rogers, an icon in Texas, to be sitting in a chair in the middle of the hill country, just strumming his guitar and singing some songs?
You know what? We're not going to talk about how much of my college career was spent figuring out where Randy Rogers was playing. I'm just going to listen to him tonight. All right, we're going to be right back. Our coverage of the 77th Annual Texas Cavaliers River Parade is getting underway. Stay with us.
So that's why you're